You have the same 24 hours as Elon Musk. That's what they say. That's literally the thing people post on Instagram over a picture of a sunrise. And for a split second, maybe you believed it. Maybe you nodded. Maybe you felt genuinely motivated for like 4 minutes before you opened YouTube and watched a compilation of cats falling off counters for 45 minutes. Because yeah, you technically have the same 24 hours. The same way you technically have the same 2 legs as Usain Bolt. But here's the thing nobody asks. What if you actually tried it? What if, just for 1 week, you scheduled your time the exact way billionaires do? Same blocks, same priorities, same ruthless, almost psychotic relationship with every single minute of the day. What would happen to you? Would you become unstoppable? Would you finally get your life together? Or would you completely fall apart in a way that makes for a deeply entertaining story? For real bro here, where we say what no one else will. And before you go schedule your 4 a.m. cold plunge and your 6 a.m. journaling and your 7 a.m. deep work block, I need you to stay right here. Because what actually happens when regular people try to live like billionaires with their time is not what any productivity guru on the internet will ever tell you. Part 1. The blueprint looked perfect on paper. Elon Musk schedules his day in 5-minute blocks. 5 minutes? The man has chunked his entire existence into slices so thin you could practically see through them. Jeff Bezos protects his mornings like they're classified documents. Warren Buffett guards his calendar so aggressively that he once said his schedule for the next year was basically empty. These are not normal humans. These are people who treat time like currency that expires at midnight, and they will not, under any circumstances, spend a single minute on something that doesn't compound. And you're sitting there thinking, okay, I can do this. I'm a disciplined person. I woke up before noon twice this week, so you make the schedule. Oh, you go all in. Color-coded blocks. Time for deep work, time for email, time for exercise, time for learning. You even schedule strategic thinking time, which is basically just staring at the ceiling, but you write it in the calendar anyway because it sounds important. Monday morning arrives. 5:30 a.m. alarm. You don't snooze it. You're a new person. You make it 11 minutes before checking Instagram. And this right here, is where the real story begins. Because the schedule didn't fail because you're lazy. It failed because you built someone else's schedule on top of a life that was never designed for it. Billionaires don't just have different schedules. They have different everything, different leverage, different teams, different problems. And the part nobody mentions? They don't have to make their own dentist appointments. Part 2. The power hours. Okay, but let's say you push through. You actually do it. You protect your mornings. No phone until 10 a.m. Deep work blocks. You're getting things done. Real things. Important things. You feel genuinely like a different species. There's a dopamine hit to it that nobody warns you about. Billionaire scheduling is addictive when it works. You look at your day and it's organized and intentional and efficient, and you feel like a person who has their life together, which is a feeling most of us only experience briefly and accidentally. So you go harder. You cut the small talk. You start saying, that could have been an email. You tell people you don't do reactive scheduling. You use the phrase time blocking in casual conversation. Your friends start to find you mildly exhausting. Your family starts scheduling time to talk to you because you made them. Your partner asks if you're okay and you say, I'm optimizing. And they look at you the way someone looks at a guy who just discovered intermittent fasting and can't stop talking about it. And this is the first hidden cost that no productivity video mentions. Efficiency, taken too far, starts to look a lot like being emotionally unavailable. Billionaires are famously complicated people to be close to. Multiple divorces, kids who barely saw them, friendships that exist purely for leverage. You think that's a coincidence? Or is it maybe the direct result of treating every minute like a transaction? You wanted the schedule. You're getting the full package. Part 3. The thing nobody tells you about focus. You're not distracted, you're human, unfortunately. Here's a fact that will quietly ruin you. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. Your brain is literally not built for 5-minute time blocks and 4-hour deep work sessions. Cognitively, you are a golden retriever being asked to do tax law. The reason billionaires can operate the way they do isn't willpower, it's infrastructure. They've spent years and millions building systems that protect their focus, assistants who filter everything, teams who handle anything that would normally interrupt a regular person 17 times before lunch. You don't have that. You have a phone and a roommate who will absolutely knock on your door mid-deep work block to ask if you want Chipotle. And you're going to say yes. Obviously, you're going to say yes. But here's where it gets genuinely strange. The people who do successfully adopt billionaire time habits, the ones who actually pull it off, they don't feel more free. They feel more like a machine. And at some point, they start asking a question that scares them a little. Am I being productive because I want to achieve something? Or am I being productive because I'm terrified of what I'd feel if I stopped? That question doesn't have a comfortable answer. And the fact that you're uncomfortable right now is not an accident. Part 4. The dark secret of the billionaire schedule. They're not managing time. They're running from it. Okay, here's the part nobody posts on Instagram. There's a study, actually multiple studies, showing that extremely high-achieving, highly scheduled people report higher levels of anxiety, not lower. They're not calm. They're controlled. There's a difference. Calm means you're okay. Controlled means you've built a system specifically to not fall apart. Elon Musk has publicly described his mind as a never-ending explosion. Jeff Bezos, by most accounts, is not a man who sits peacefully in his feelings. These are people who turned their anxiety into output, which is impressive, but also, and I say this with genuine affection, deeply unhinged. And here's the uncomfortable truth about why you're attracted to the billionaire schedule. You don't actually want their productivity. You want their results. You want the feeling that your time means something, that you're not wasting your life, that each day adds up to something real. And that feeling, that craving, that's not a scheduling problem. That's an existential problem. You are not afraid of wasting time. You are afraid of reaching the end of your life and realizing that all that time, all those 24 hours, all those same hours Elon supposedly has, didn't add up to the thing you actually wanted. The billionaire schedule isn't about efficiency. It's about outrunning that fear fast enough that you never have to sit with it. You thought you were adopting a productivity system. You were actually looking at someone else's coping mechanism and thinking, that looks like success. Part 5. What happens when you stop performing productivity? The real secret is so embarrassingly simple. It's going to make you mad. All right, here's the part that wraps this whole thing into a circle. Remember the beginning? The Instagram sunrise post? You have the same 24 hours as Elon Musk. That statement is designed to make you feel like time is the variable. Like if you just scheduled it correctly, everything would fall into place. But the billionaires who are actually, weirdly, unexpectedly, at peace? The Warren Buffetts who read for 6 hours and play ukulele and drink cherry Coke and seem almost suspiciously unhurried? They're not managing every minute. They've done something much harder. They figured out which minutes actually matter to them. Not to a productivity system, not to a YouTube comment section, not to some imaginary future version of themselves with a jawline and a yacht. To them, right now, given who they actually are. And that, not the 4 a.m. wake-up, not the color-coded time blocks, not the ruthless calendar. That's the thing you were looking for when you searched billionaire morning routine at 11:30 p.m. while eating cereal in bed. You didn't want the schedule. You wanted permission to take your time seriously. You wanted to believe that your days could actually mean something. And here's the brutal, hilarious, quietly devastating callback to everything we've talked about. You already have that permission. You had it the whole time. You were just too busy watching videos about productivity to notice. So here's my question, and I genuinely want to know because this will tell me a lot about you. What's the one thing you keep putting in your calendar that you never actually do? Drop it below. No judgment. Okay, some judgment. But the fun kind. And if some part of you is thinking, I should subscribe so I don't miss the next one, honestly, that tracks. You're clearly someone who makes very good decisions with their time. For real, bro out.